Hello there, Puddy Cat. We've got a new ship. Okay, so I've just come online and I've seen that we've got a new ship, plus we've got an Omicron release. So we're going to have a quick look, just see what's going on about them. Now, spoiler alert, I've had a look at this already for the simple fact that I thought, okay, we're probably just going to get this for now. And then I realised, oh, we've had this as well. So I'll tell you what, we will actually start with the Omicron for Princess Leia. And it's a pretty simple one. It just affects her unique ability. So, in Grand Arena, which I'm personally loving, whenever Leia attacks, she has a 55% chance to grant all rebel allies retribution for 2 turns, and a 55% chance to grant all rebel allies tenacity up for 2 turns. And all other rebel allies recover 5% health and protection. So, my theory is that Akbar, Leia, they're getting their Omicrons to pair together. Me personally, I would love Fulcrum to get an Omicron now as well, even though I can't really afford these Omicrons. I would love that, just so that then I've got that. If anyone's followed my channel for a while, I've used that as a trio for a while. Just for the fact there's some nice buff synergy between the 3 of them. So I would love Fulcrum to go and get a little buff as well and just complete that trio. We'll see if they do that, but honestly the Rebels, they do need some love, so I'm glad to see this, especially with them both being in Grand Arena. I mean, if it had been a TW one, I wouldn't have been impressed, but I wouldn't have been upset either because it gives them more viability. But still, I like the idea that they're putting the Omicrons in the same game mode. So, long live the Rebels. Alright, so let's have a look. We've got the TIE Interceptor prototype. It says TIE/in. Is anyone going to call it TIE/in? TIE-in. Okay, so the TIE-in Interceptor prototype, piloted by the second sister, is landing on the holotables. While the ship is already a fast attack craft that is as nimble as it is deadly, second sister's force powers allow it to perform maneuvers many would consider to be unnatural. Below we take a deeper dive into the inspirations, like yada yada yada. Okay, so the basics. It works well with Empire fleets. The TIE Interceptor under Chimera shouldn't be one-shotting Executor defences, but should now have all the tools needed to challenge many of the fleets in the game. I find that interesting wording. Under Chimera. They could have said Executrix. They could have said either one of them. Chose Chimera. Now, I'm not saying that means Executrix will be able to one-shot Executor, but what I'm thinking is, what about Ravager? Well, you'll see why I'm talking about that in a minute, but let's just carry on a minute. So, TIE Interceptor's reinforcement ability is powerful and can help turn the tide of battle. I have said I've already looked at the kit. I will agree it's a nice little reinforcement ability. Unique attributes. The TIE Interceptor introduces the new effects Ruthless and Pursued Target. Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not overly impressed by them. They aren't bad, but I feel like reskins of stuff we've already got. But I will show them. You can make a judgment for yourself. Okay, so this ship goes really fast. It currently has the 2nd highest speed rating of any ship in the game. I like that. I think that could be a very good thing. I would assume the fastest is still TIE Fighter Pilot, so if that's the case, it's going to be a very fast pair of ships to start with. So, inspiration. We've been looking for a ship to lift Empire fleets for a while, and I've had several ideas as to which ones we might add to the game. Some of the ships we considered would have been Cruelest or were simply clones of ships already in the game, which I kind of get, but saying that we need ships, I don't care if you give me 3 ships that are exactly the same, but they do different jobs in different fleets. I do not care. Just give me more ships. Please, please. Okay. The TIE Interceptor has been missing from Empire fleets, and the recently released second sister worked well as the pilot, especially considering her force powers provided a great excuse for the ship's high speed and manoeuvrability theme. The second sister's TIE Interceptor is technically a prototype, as the Empire didn't officially deploy them until 3 years before the destruction of the first Death Star. Yeah, I get that. I still think he could have got away with it though, if we're being brutally honest, but whatever. We're all going to call it TIE Interceptor, aren't we? We aren't going to call it TIE Interceptor Prototype. Alright. The TIE Interceptor is known for its speed and firepower, 2 attributes we feel the kit represents well. Okay, yeah, fair enough. It should be an attacker, anything like that, it should be a real high damage ship, and then it's going to be fragile. But that's the cost you have for a high damage ship. Strategy. So it has strong reinforcement ability, works with TIE Advance 1, i.e. Vader's ship, to lower core reinforcement cooldown. And TIE Advance 1 has had a touch-up, so That's revealed at the bottom. The TIE Interceptor ruthlessly pursues targets, especially Jedi enemies. The ship works best with fleets that are a mix of Empire, Inquisitorius, and Sith ships, so that implies there will be another Inquisitorius ship at some point. By keeping it limited to those factions, the TIE Interceptor will have access to its full arsenal. I'm actually curious what the other Inquisitorius ships would be, because off the top of my head, I can't really think of one that stands out. I mean, I assume they did have a ship that I can't remember in Rebels. I seem to remember the Fifth Brother coming onto one of the Empire capital ships and just sort of looking menacing. But I can't actually remember what the ship was like, so yeah, maybe they have got ships. So FAQ, there's a 2 meter description. It's basically the 2 meters gained by TIE Interceptor. Why does he have synergy with Vader, or she have synergy with Vader? It's simply the fact that Vader led the Inquisitors. Why did you release the ship immediately after you released the pilot? It's going to be the Conquest Chase Unit. I am not too sure about what to think about that, but it does tie into that feeling that it's connected to Ravager. Does Vader's TIE Advance 1 need to be on the field to get the Sith capital ship cooldown bonus, or can it be in the reinforcements? It must be on the field at the start of battle to gain the cooldown benefit. So this is going to be a very awkward fleet to pick, because I was saying now you've got TIE Fighter Pilot and the TIE Interceptor, but I think you're going to have to start the Interceptor in the reinforcements, purely because you would want a fast ship like TIE Fighter Pilot. You need to start TIE Advanced, and you can't get away without the bomber. So Interceptor has to come in. So I find that quite interesting. So how has Vader's ship changed? And essentially what they've done, they've now changed the final tier of advanced targeting systems, which, if I'm right, is unique. It says, at the start of battle, if all allies are Empire, Inquisitorius, or Sith, and TIE Interceptor is in reinforcements, allied Empire capital ship cooldowns are reduced by 1. So actually, it's not the unique, sorry, it's the special ability. So it does seem like if you're using the special ability, it'll reduce the cooldown. It's pretty cool. I will have to double check that. There we go. Advanced targeting system. It is the unique. So, oh, it is the unique. Okay. So there we go. So the ability as it is currently is target locked enemies have managed 25% tenacity and immediately regain target lock for 2 turns whenever target lock expires on them. In addition, Empire allies gain 50% turn meter whenever they attack a target locked enemy. And now it will have that at the start of battle. So it's pretty cool, that. Okay. So let's actually just have a look at the kit in full. So, yeah, classic design, not much more to say there. So, TIE Interceptor prototype, Dark, Empire, Attacker, Inquisitorius. Second Sister. Imperial fast attack craft that is as nimble as it is deadly. Second Sister's force powers allow her to perform maneuvers many would consider unnatural. So, laser cannons. Deal physical damage to target enemy twice. If the target's got target lock, this attack cannot be evaded. So, nice solid start. I mean, the way I see it, Vader's going to be putting target locks out that can't be removed. So, a lot of attacks will not be evaded by the Second Sister. Special auto thruster maneuvers. Deal physical damage to target enemy and gain foresight for 2 turns. If TIE Interceptor prototype already has foresight, it grants a random other ally foresight for 2 turns. So again, that can be very helpful when you're trying to just get some of these lucky dodges, especially if TFP is starting. Remember, if TFP starts, then he grants the capital ship turn meter if he evades. So if TFP gets the evade, your capital ship's getting turn meter, which again, we don't know what Ravager will look like. I'm assuming at this point it's coming. That could prove very useful. So target lock. Dispel target lock and deal 50% more damage. Ruthless Pursuit. Cooldown of 5, so that's a high cooldown. Deal physical damage to all enemies. You gain Ruthless, which cannot be copied, dispelled, or prevented. And you give a target enemy and all Jedi enemies a pursued target until the end of the encounter. When the TIE Interceptor uses an ability, if the target did not have pursued target, Ruthless expires and pursued target is removed from all remaining enemies. TIE Interceptor prototype can ignore taunt effects when targeting enemies with pursued target. This kind of reminds me of Omega. Maybe I'm just misassociating it a little bit, but I do think there are abilities like this already in the game. I'm not saying it's a carbon copy or it's bad or anything, I'm just looking at it and I'm thinking, this seems familiar. So it's not a bad ability, I think it's just a little bit familiar. So yeah, Ruthless, you get extra crit chance, crit damage, and offense, so all good stuff. Pursued target. When the TIE Interceptor prototype targets a set unit with an ability during its turn, it gains 40% turn meter. So that's a TIE advance. Sorry, the TIE Interceptor. TIE Interceptor prototype must target a unit with this or a taunt effect, and can ignore taunt effects to target this unit. So yeah, essentially, if you hit someone with pursued target, yeah, you're going to have to hit someone with that, essentially. If either that or someone who's got taunt, but if you hit the person with taunt, you're going to lose pursued target. So you never really want to hit a taunting target, so really you will want to hit the pursued target. Okay, hardware, which as I'm reading it is the reinforcement ability. So final text: if all allies are Empire, Inquisitorius or Sith, that's the bit that I find important, the spell buffs on all enemies and apply target lock and buff immunity for 2 turns. The spell debuffs on all Empire, Inquisitorius and Sith allies. So again, you've got Sith there. I find that quite interesting. Then prototype design. This unique final text: whenever an Empire, Inquisitorius or Sith ally reinforces, TIE Interceptor prototype gains foresight. Whenever TIE Interceptor prototype critically hits an enemy, if all allies are Empire, Inquisitorius or Sith, the allied capital ship gains 5% turn meter. So I've spoke a lot there, but I honestly believe we are getting Ravager soon. Maybe not imminent, but soon. It wouldn't surprise me if they are releasing this as the Conquest chase. I wouldn't be surprised if Ravager isn't announced in the next month or so, just for the fact that then people know why they're chasing it. It could even be announced tonight for all I know. I mean, I'm recording, I haven't got Discord open. For all I know, it's been announced. I mean, let me have a look. Nothing's happened yet, has it? Nope, nothing yet. So I'll be honest, right, just then I did see developer insights and I thought, hang on, have I missed one? And no, it's just opposite what we've got. But it is it's looking imminent. I mean, the way I look at it is, if it wasn't shouting out Sith so much, I wouldn't be thinking about it. But you can just imagine you've got this Sith capital ship, and essentially the devs are thinking, right, we're going to let you start with the Empire toon and TFP. You can bring in this new Inquisitorius toon. Maybe there'll be more. You got Vader starting, you got the bomber starting. For me, I think there are just so many things that are leading that way. I mean, we don't know if the Sith bomber, Sith Marauder ship, we don't know if that's going to be better starting. We obviously don't know the kit of the Ravager, but they've been sort of pointing to farm that for a few weeks now. I mean, the Sith bomber ship has been in the shipment store a few times for like 1 million credits. We've had the Marauder in there as well. The Marauder ship has been on Fennec Shan's node, and Fennec has been pushed a lot as well to say you want to go and get her for with Boba Fett sign a Django. So yeah, there's so much pointing towards going for the Marauder ship right now. And yeah, when you add in the fact that now we've got something that has got such a lot of Sith synergy, despite not actually being a Sith ship, it's like, yeah, we're going that way. So that's the way I'm looking at it. I think if you've got the patience, shall we call it, to do Conquest, I would really pursue this if you want to stay on top in fleet. I'm not going to say that if the Ravager came out, it would top executive, for the simple reason I don't know the kit. I'm speculating a lot in this. But what I would say, even if it isn't up there with Executor, it is likely to be just below it. So I would take the gamble it's worth chasing for that one simple reason. If you haven't got a clean Executor counter, we could be about to get a new one, or at least a better one. So let me know, folks. Let me know what you're thinking. I've been speaking for 15 minutes. That seems like a good time to leave it. So let me know what you think about Princess Leia's Omicron. Let me know what you think about this kit, and if you think I'm right about Ravager. If anything, it was leaked recently, so I'm not just making things up. This has actually been kind of teased already. So I think it's on the cards to come out very soon. Let me know what you think, folks. All right. I'm going on Twitch shortly. If you haven't already seen me, check me out on Twitch. I'm going to say it'd be nice to have some people in the chat. Other than that, catch you around. Bye for now, everyone.